Hello everyone and welcome to the free and live Learn the Basics of Joomla 3 webinar brought to you by CloudAccess.net. Today I want to show you how to launch and develop and manage your free Joomla 3.4 site. And we'll launch the site, of course. We'll talk about templates. We'll install a template. We'll talk about creating content, and we'll create categories, articles, menu items, and modules. We'll also discuss some other core features of Joomla, like the user manager and the extension manager, where we can install extensions to expand the functionality of our free Joomla site. Now, before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Ryan Bernstein. I'll be your host and presenter today. I want to encourage you to find that GoToMeeting slide out question area and post your questions directly to me. If your question is relevant to what I'm discussing at the moment, I'll pause and pull that question in, or I'll get to the question at the end of the presentation. You can also tweet at me during today's presentation at CloudAccess. You see our Twitter handle at the bottom of this page. Before we begin, just a brief introduction to our platform. In just a moment, we're going to log into the CCP, or the Cloud Control Panel. This is unlike any other control panel you'll see in the hosting industry. It's something we built from the ground up and offers you a ton of options for managing your application. You can replicate your site to a new staging area for testing and development. You can create your own backups for the site. You can purchase new products, domain names. You can submit support tickets. You can do all different types of things within the CCP. And again, we're going to log in and we're going to launch our free Joomla site, but we also offer free WordPress sites, and they're both managed hosting products. And you can get the free application, which is active indefinitely, and which comes with a free subdomain, or you can upgrade to one of our paid hosting packages and get a higher level of support from our team. You can submit tickets online, or you can call us directly to get help. And it's not just hosting help, we offer application help as well. If you've got a question about core Joomla or WordPress functionality, post that question and our team can help. We've got a lot of free training resources as well. If you didn't notice, this is a free webinar, but we've got a lot of video tutorials and things like that. And you see the snapshot icon over here. We do offer free snapshots for the site. As part of our service, we take a backup of your site every single day. And if you break the site somehow, you don't have to worry about it. We've got a copy of it that we've taken for you. We can restore the site. We also, again, offer you tools to create and manage and restore your own backups. We do offer domain names, of course. You can purchase a custom domain name through us if you'd like. Your free site, again, comes with that free subdomain. And we do have a worldwide network. We have nodes on servers around the world, and sites with us perform noticeably faster. I want to let you know too that I am recording this presentation. It will be available on our YouTube channel a little bit later today. That's youtube.com/cloudaccess. I'll show you how to access this towards the end of the presentation. For now though, I'm going to close this presentation and I'm going to go to the internet. I'm going to go to CloudAccess.net. And if you haven't visited our site before, you're going to want to come here and click on the registration button to register for a free account. No payment method needed. Just provide us a few details and we'll launch the site, or you can log into the CCP. I've already registered, of course, so I'll click on the login button here. And this will take me to my Cloud Control Panel, or the CCP. Now, I do want you to notice, I was logged in automatically, but you'll have to enter your username and password, of course, if you want to log in manually for the first time. Now, let's see here. The first thing you'll notice in the CCP is your active hosting products. I've got 12 active hosting products, and those products are listed here. Notice how I've got different types of applications. Here's a Joomla 3.3, several of those. I've got a WordPress 3.9 and Joomla 2.5. I can see what type of account those are upgraded to and when the invoice due date is and things like that. I also have these little icons below. These are icons that help us manage each of the applications. So here for this artgallery.cloudaccess.net, I can click on this button to manage, and that's going to take us to a view where we can manage this individual application. And we'll come back to this area. I'll show you a little bit more. Let's return to the CCP home. Let's just show you a couple other things here before we launch our site. You can submit a support ticket here. Click on New Ticket button. Submit a support ticket if you like a little bit of help. See your invoices and any domain names that you've registered. Let me just show you the free site tab here too. These free sites are sites that I've launched that are free. They're active indefinitely. And again, I can see the same type of information, what type of application, I get the quick links. I see here that several of these are active for 30 days, but my artweb32.jdevcloud.com, this is not, this is going to expire in 20 days. And so what I want to do is I want to renew it. So let's click on Renew and just show you that as long as I log into the CCP every once in a while and renew, the product is successfully renewed. Let's close this and return to our free sites. Scrolling back down, here's the ArtWeb32. Notice I have 30 more days. So as long as I log in every 30 days and renew the site, it will stay active indefinitely. Okay, so the next thing I want to do though, I want to launch a new product. So I'm going to click on the new product button. Of course, you know, there's a lot here I'm not discussing. Shopping and getting help and updating your account information. You can see I've got some credit on my account too. A lot of different things here to explore, but we're going to click on the new product button and launch our free Joomla 3.4 site today. And so the first option here, I want to click on Launch Free Site. I can purchase hosting and get a domain off the bat, but let's go ahead and just click on Free Site. And here I've got a choice. I can first choose my subdomain. I create the beginning part of this, but I want to choose the subdomain first. freesite.host, jdevcloud, wpdevcloud, and let's go ahead and go with freesite.host, and I'll create the beginning part of this. So let's see. I am going to create a site today for an art gallery. So I'm going to call this Art Gallery Webinar. Let's call it Art Gallery Web.freesite.host. And I want to make sure I'm selecting Joomla 3.4, and I'll click on Create Site. We'll see if this domain is available, which it is. And what's happening right now is CloudAccess is grabbing that 3.4 package for me. And again, Joomla 3.4 is the most recent version of Joomla available. We do have that available as, again, a managed hosting product, and we'll provide updates for you when a newer version becomes available. But right now what's happening is CloudAccess is grabbing the 3.4 package, it's launching the site, it's attaching the domain, it's configuring the DNS so that domain points to the site, and CloudAccess is also sending me a welcome email that has login details for the site. Once the site is launched, I'm going to show you how to log in through the Cloud Control Panel here, but you can also log in manually. And in the CCP, you also have your email history from CloudAccess, so you can get your username and password and things like that to the site. So in just a moment, once the site's launched and ready to work, ready to go, we'll get a message here letting us know that it is ready. In the meantime, I think I already mentioned that I'm going to create a site for an art gallery today. I've done it in the webinar several times, so I've already done some work gathering imagery and kind of planning out how I'd like this site to look and feel. So again, the site's ready. We're redirected back here to the Cloud Control Panel where I can manage this application. The first thing we want to do is we want to click on this link, artgalleryweb.freesite.host, and we'll see that this takes us to the front end of the site. This is what my Joomla site looks like right now to the public. Anyone can come to this subdomain and visit the site. And I've got a lot of things in the site already. I've got the site title, I've got a search module, here's my main menu, I've got several modules off to the right side of the site. I've got my main body content here. So my content goes in the one static position, and then I can add these different modules around the sides. They're the building blocks to the site. I've got some imagery in the site already, and scrolling down a little bit more at the bottom, here's a breadcrumbs module and my copyright information at the bottom. So that's what the front end looks like. Returning to the Cloud Control Panel, I can also go to this Application tab, and under Application, notice you have many features. I'm going to click on Login to Joomla in just a moment, but I can get an overview of the site, add some security features. I can replicate the site to a staging area, of course. I can create a backup and restore the site from a backup, access my database, and some features like site performance, these are visible only for our paying clients. So the site performance metric is a tool that you can use to analyze page load times. It's really quite cool, and you know, you're going to have to upgrade to get some of these features, but we do enable a lot of these for our free clients as well. So let's go ahead and click on log into Joomla here, and this is going to take us directly to the back end of our Joomla site, or our control panel, or it's also referred to as the administration area. And this is the place where I manage and maintain my content. I can add articles, categories, media to the site. I can also control my structure, my menu, and my modules. Those building blocks I was talking about. I can add users to the site and manage my users. I can put them in user groups and give user groups permissions so I can have tiered levels of access to different areas of the site. I can also use the global configuration options and change templates and set some language settings. And one of the coolest parts about Joomla is that it's extensible, right? There are thousands of extensions available in the Joomla community that you can install to have more features with your site. I can also look for updates for Joomla. You see, I have launched a Joomla 3.4 site. It is the most recent version available, so no Joomla updates available for me today. And any extensions, I'll see if I can update any extensions for the site. So a lot of these features here we're going to talk about in today's webinar, and these features are also available in this menu at the top of the page too. So again, I'll show you a lot of them today, and as soon as I make my changes here, it's important to note that those changes show up immediately on the front end of the site. Okay, and look how easily I can toggle between the two views to see my changes. So one other thing to point out in the back end of the site is that I've got some post-installation messages here. I'm not going to review these with you. There are some links on how to learn Joomla, which most of it I'm going to cover in today's webinar, and there's also some other useful links like looking for or using the Google two-factor authentication, which is pretty cool, a security feature for the site. And you know, there's a lot that we're not going to cover today that you should look for on your own. I can see who's logged into the site, popular articles, and some site information. But again, I can customize this area if I'd like to. I'm not going to really get into that in this webinar, but one thing we want to do right away is we want to change the site title. Right now I've got your Joomla site hosted with CloudAccess.net. Let's change that. In the back end, we're going to do that in global configuration right here, and we can also access global configuration by coming to System and selecting global configuration here. Again, a lot of options within Joomla to work from. You see, once I do open up global configuration, those options open up here, of course. And I've got site options, system, server permissions, text filters, a lot of different things to learn about, but the first option here, site name, that's what we want to focus on for right now. Your Joomla site hosted with CloudAccess.net. Let's change this to Art Gallery, and we'll go ahead and select Save. Now I want you to notice this green message we're going to receive here. Whenever we save something successfully in Joomla, we'll get the green message, and that means we're moving in the right direction. We may also see a red message, which means that something didn't save successfully. And there's also a yellow message, which is a caution message. So the green is good, red is bad, and yellow is caution. We'll probably see all three as we develop today. But let's return to the front end of the site and refresh the page. And notice our site title has changed to the Art Gallery. And let's return to the administration area. I'm going to click Save and Close. And that takes us back to our main control panel view. We get the green message again, but if you want to get back to the main control panel view, you always come to System and Control Panel. We'll get you back to this main area. Now, looking at the front end, the first thing we're going to talk about is templates. A template is a file that you install in your Joomla site that helps manage the look and layout and sort of the visual aesthetics of the site, the way the site looks for our front-end users. And this template that we're looking at is called the Protostar template. It's a template that was developed for Joomla 3, and it's responsive, and I'm going to illustrate what I mean by that. Let's go ahead and minimize this. Just kind of bring this down to the size of like a smartphone, and you can see that my content looks pretty good. It's responsive. It responded to the device. Scrolling down, you can see all my content looks fairly good. Okay, returning this here, let's go ahead and minimize the administration area as well. If I'm going to use a tablet, for instance, to edit my site, my content looks pretty darn good on a tablet too. And this is the administration area. So by nature, Joomla 3 is responsive. So if you're looking for a template, a new template for your Joomla site, you want to make sure it's a responsive template that's compatible with Joomla 3. That's really important. If I tried to install a Joomla 2.5 template into my Joomla 3 site, it wouldn't work. Okay, make sure it's compatible, and there's a couple other things to look for as well. And let me illustrate. Returning to the back end, to get to our template manager, we click on template manager here, or come to extensions and template manager. Same place, and you'll see I've got 4 templates in my site already. Bees 3 and Protostar, these are available for my site, meaning they're for the front end. Hathor and Isis, these are templates for the administrator or the back end of the site. So for instance, if I wanted to change my administrative template, I can click on Hathor here. Clicking on this star will change my default template. And this will take me to the Hathor template. It's my same site, it's just a different way to view the features here. It's same features are available, they just look a little different. I've grown accustomed to Isis, so I'll change it back. And so here I've got my Hathor, my Isis. Let's change to the site template. Let's use Bees 3. Click on that. We get a green message, of course, returning to the front end. Refresh the page, and we get a different look and feel for the front end of the site. It's very similar actually to Protostar, but the big difference is this banner here. And this banner, it's actually hard to remove. You have to get into the code of the template to remove it, and it's not very user-friendly. You see some of my modules kind of switched positions, and there are different module positions available for different templates. So what I want to do, I want to return to the back end. I'm going to change back to the Protostar, and then we return and refresh. We're not going to use Bees 3, and we're not going to use Protostar either. We're going to get a new template. But let me just show you in the back end why we're going to get a new template. It's responsive, so why can't we work with it? Well, Protostar, if I click on the Advanced tab, I do have a few options here, and you can definitely develop your site using Protostar, but I've only got a couple color options. And I can add a logo, but there's a couple font settings, not very much at all. And I want more options. Of course I do. And so there's a lot of other options available in different templates. Let's go ahead and save and close this template, and I'm going to install a new one. And the template I want to install, I'm going to go back to the internet to find it. I'll go to CloudAccess.net. We actually have an announcement at the top of our page right now. Check out CloudBase 3, a free and versatile template perfect for Joomla 3. It is a fantastic template. We developed it here at Cloud Access. There are over 60 customizable options, 15 color presets, just a ton of things you can do with this template. I highly suggest you get it because it has so many options. It has more options than we see in some paid templates, and this is a free template. So we can click on this link here, but if that announcement is gone, what I can do is I can scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and under our resources tab, I can click on our resources menu. I'll click on CloudBase 3. And CloudBase 3 is, again, this is the product page for it, and we've got a short video here kind of illustrating a little bit, but you see we've got all these presets to choose from. Scrolling down, just some notes on how it's responsive and things like that. But let's go ahead and click on the live demo. This is what our template looks like. And this is the CloudBase 3. We've got all these options. We can upload logos. We've got our social buttons. And what we're looking at, we're not looking at content at all, imagery, but we're paying attention to colors. And we're looking at how menus are set up and what drop-downs look like. Okay, that's what a template helps control. What else? Module positions, really important. If you're going to consider any template online, you want to make sure you can get access to this module positions page or the module maps. Okay, this is a module map, and it shows you all the positions you have available. I can put content in so many different places in this template. Options are limitless. Here's where my main body content goes. I can add side content, content to the top, and then I can have big showcase or full width banner imagery, just a ton of options. Again, I can also choose a different preset. Let's go ahead and just click on the green preset, see what that one looks like. And oh, lime green. Not really my color. I really actually like this dark blue. It's really kind of cool. So again, a lot of different options for this template. And let's return to the product page for this, and we want to download for free. When we download, we're taken to the download page here, and I want to download the template only. I can download the full JPA package, and if you're going to install the full JPA, it takes a little bit more work than what we're going to do here. But we'll click on download template only, because this is the blank slate template. It's not going to come, like if we come to this page or our demo page, it's not going to come with any of our any of these modules. It's not going to come with any of the inside landing pages we see here. It's just the blank slate template, and that's what you should get if you want to learn how to build the site from the ground up. So I'll click on download template only, and I want you to notice how this is a zip file. Okay, if you're going to install a template manually through the back end of your Joomla site, it needs to come in the form of a zip file. I'll put this in my downloads folder and save. Once the template is downloaded, I can return to my Joomla site. I don't install the template in the template manager. I actually come up to extensions and extension manager to install that. And of course, if I'm in my control panel, I can get to my extension manager right here as well. And the first time we open up our extension manager, we'll notice this blue message. And this is about the install from web tab, which is a cool feature. And we're going to talk about this in just a minute. But for now, I'm just going to use the upload package file tab. This helps me manually install that template. So what I'll do is I'll click on choose file. I'm going to go to my downloads folder and select my CloudBase 3 zip file. Once the name appears in the field here, I'll click on upload and install. And in no time at all, the template will install for me. And I'm going to show you how to make this your default template, and we'll talk about customization here in just a moment. So we get the green message, and we also get a series of these gantry check marks letting us know that the template was installed successfully. Every template is built on a framework, and this template is built on the gantry framework, which allows you to do different things. It's kind of a grid system for how many columns and things you have within the site. So once we've installed that, let's go ahead and return to our template manager here, and we'll see that our CloudBase 3 is available right here. I'm going to click on the default star, change that. Let's return to the front end of the site, and with a little luck, we should have a totally different look and feel for the Joomla site. Here's the CloudBase 3. And notice, remember, we don't have any of that content. We just installed the blank slate template, so we have to create our own content. And scrolling through, right now, it's not a whole lot different from those other templates, but again, we've got a ton of options in the back end, and I want to show you that. But first, let me actually just show you another page on our site. If I scroll all the way to the bottom, go back to this resources menu and click on Joomla templates, that's going to take us to our page of recommended third-party template developers. We've gone through these developers' work and we approve of it. They kind of pass our sniff test. They have good quality stuff. They offer support. There's all the tools you need to be successful with the template. And there are many here, so you should feel free to look around and find that template that works best for you. Let me actually, though, return to the administrative area. We want to use CloudBase 3, so we'll open up CloudBase 3 here. And notice we have our overview, but if I go to Style, look how many more options we have. So many more things we can do with this template than we can do with Protostar. And these are, I can just change my links and buttons and menu drop-downs and headers and logos. I've got all different options here. Let me just kind of illustrate. If we come to presets, we do have 15 presets to choose from. You can use this slider to kind of slide around. I like this color, the dark. Let's go with dark. And I'll click on Save. And return to the front end, refresh. And with a little luck, we get the dark template. Yeah, I kind of like this color scheme, and of course I can come through, and if there's a part of this preset that I don't like, I can come through and change one of those settings. So just again, a ton of options for customizing, and let's go through just a few of them. Here I have my logo option. Right now I'm using the CloudBase 3 logo, but I want to go with a custom logo, and then it offers me a place to upload a new image. So I'm going to select an image from my computer. And what this does is this takes me to a little abbreviated view of my media manager. I do have several files within the site already, and you see I've got some Joomla imagery inside my site. And what I want to do though is I want to scroll all the way down here, and I want to choose a file from my computer. So I'm going to go back to my documents, my webinar images, go to the art gallery. Again, I've already done some work creating content for the site and gathering images. So I'm going to select my logo I've developed and click on Start Upload. So I've uploaded that to my media manager, and now I need to just locate it, select it, and insert. So there's my logo. Let's go ahead and save now. Return to the front end, refresh. And here's my art gallery logo. Some of the other options we can include. Let's scroll down here. Outside of colors, there's some cool features here toward the bottom. Actually, it's going to be under this Features tab here. So, scrolling down, a lot of options here. One cool thing about this template is I can just add my UA code if I want to add Google Analytics to the site. Really simple. You just sign the site up at Google Analytics and get that UA tracking code and pop it in there. But another cool option is the social icons. I'm going to turn my icons to on, and then we can add in a Facebook link. And so, for instance, let's add in, I think we need to do the HTTP prefix. So let's grab well, let's see here. We want to do, let's just try facebook.com and save. Let's return to the front end and refresh. And then we get our Facebook icon to show up. I don't think that link's going to work. Yeah, it gave us a 404 because I needed to add in that HTTP prefix there. So let's just try the www, see if that works. Let's save. Nope, that didn't work as well. So again, it has to be I just want to test that, see if what I needed there exactly. But we need the HTTP prefix. And I don't know if I need www or not. Let's see. Save. Return to the home page, refresh. And that takes us to my Facebook page. So the link works, which is really good. And again, we can return, we can add in our other Twitter, YouTube, Google+, LinkedIn, and so on. Let's go ahead and save this. And we'll see what these look like on the front end. You just easily add those social icons in, which is really, really important. We'll click on YouTube. This should go to our YouTube page, which it does. And just to point out, our YouTube channel, we do have over 10,000 subscribers here. So if you want to subscribe to our channel, you can. We have over 500,000 video views, a lot of great content here. This webinar is actually going to be added here to this playlist later today. To the Joomla webinars, you can come and check this out. But we also have the Joomla 3 Getting Started tutorials. Everything that I'm covering today is covered in these 16 tutorials here. So let's return though to the front end. We've got our social icons. Let's see if there's anything else we should mention here. Again, a lot of settings. We talked about Google Analytics. Let's go to our menu. Yeah, by default we have our main menu in our navigation position. We'll talk about menus a little bit later. Layouts, we've got some cool things we can do with our layouts with our different module positions using these slide bars. Again, I don't know if it's something we're going to get into today, but do let me know if you've got questions about these different things. I'm happy to illustrate that for you. Let's go ahead and save and close the template for now. And we're going to move on. I'm going to go back to System and Control Panel, and we need to start developing content for our site, right? We've got our logo, we've got our social icon, so we're getting started. We've got our main menu here, but I want some content, and what I need to do is create my own, of course, and I do want you to write this down. This is really important. As you're developing content for your Joomla site, there are 3 steps to consider. First, you create categories, and then once you create categories, you save any articles that you write into those categories. And then you link the articles to menu items. So it's like connecting the dots. First is a category, and then an article, and then a menu item. So I'll illustrate all 3 for you now. Returning to the back end, we're going to go to the Category Manager here, or we'll go to Content and Category Manager. And I really like this file folder icon that's used for the Category Manager, because categories are like folders that exist primarily in the back end of your Joomla site, and they help you to stay organized. And sometimes your categories can appear on the front end of the site, but usually they're in the back end. And I want you to notice you have one category in the site when you get started. It's called uncategorized, and Joomla has to have at least one category to work correctly, so we're going to keep that one there for now. But to create a new category, I'll click on the New button. And whenever I create a new category, an article, a menu item, or a module, I'll have to pay attention to these asterisks. That's the required information. And the only thing that's required here is the title. I've got a lot of different options. I can create a description for the category. There's publishing and permission options. I can make this a child category of a different category. I can apply tags, which is a different organizational feature, but again, a lot of things to learn about. The only thing I need, though, is to create a title. So I'm going to title this one Art Classes. Let's go ahead and save it. We get the green message here letting us know we saved the category, but it keeps it open for us to work on. Let's click on Save and Close. We save the category and close it. We're kicked back out to our Category Manager. Let's click on Art Classes again. We'll open it up. Let's do Save and New. And let's go ahead and title this category Art Gallery Tours. And we'll save. I want you to notice too, once I save that my alias is generated for me using the words in my title. The alias is something that is created with a menu item or a category or an article, and this can be part of the URL structure, so you may want to customize this. For instance, I may want to just call it, the alias is Tours instead of Art Gallery Tours. So let's save and close this. So we've got 2 categories. Let's just do a third one. And I'm going to call this one let's do blog. Art Gallery Blog. And save and close. So we've got 3 categories in the site, and we're ready to start writing. What's our next step? Remember, it's articles. So we created our categories, and we'll do articles next. So we can access our articles here in the sidebar, or we can go to Content and Article Manager up at the top of the page. And here's that Getting Started article. And if we look at our home page, again, that's our home page article right now. We are going to change that, though. I want to click on the New button to create a new article. And I'm going to title this one, Welcome to the Art Gallery. This is going to be my new homepage article. I'm going to just leave it in the uncategorized category. It doesn't really fit in with my blog or my tours or my art classes, so I'll just leave it here for now. And I'm going to put some keystrokes in here. But let's say I want to change the color of this text, or the font of this text, or the size of this text. I can't really do that using this editor. This is a very basic editor. It's called the Tiny MCE, And people refer to these editors as the WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get, and you don't get very much at all. And I'm going to show you how to get a new editor for your site, so you can have many more options for formatting your articles, which is really important actually for like search engine optimization. People can find you on the internet if you have really well formatted content. So before we actually go any further with this article, I'm going to select Save and Close. We'll close the article. It'll appear here in our article manager. We're going to come back to it in just a moment, but for now I want to get an extension. I want to get a new editor for the site. So let's go to Extensions and Extension Manager. And what I want to do is click on Install from Web. Remember, I mentioned this before. The Install from Web tab, once I click on this button, it's going to add a new tab here. And by clicking on the button, I'm agreeing to the Joomla extensions directory, the JED terms of service. And this is safe to do. It's okay. It's just saying that I understand that there are rules for using extensions, and I agree to abide by them. But let's click on Install from Web. And oh, I was worried that this might happen. Unfortunately, last week I noticed this first, but the Install from Web tab currently isn't working properly, and you know, it is really actually cool. What it does, it allows you to browse through extensions directly through the back end of your Joomla site, but that's okay. It's broken right now, and I know the people at Joomla are working on it currently, so I do expect that to be fixed in the near future. That's okay though. What we're going to do is we're going to go to extensions.joomla.org. That's the site for extensions. So let's click on this. Extensions.joomla.org is the extensions directory, and this is the place where you're going to find your extensions. And you can search here, of course, use the search field, come down, browse your different categories, and again, lots and lots of stuff to pick from. For instance, there's no calendar in core Joomla. So if you want a calendar or some type of events component, you'll come here. Or if you want a shopping cart within your site, you'll come to e-commerce. You can have a shopping cart that displays like hundreds of products, or you can just have a simple payment gateway. You want a map in your site, come here to Maps and Weather, and you can incorporate your Google Maps and things like that. Just lots of stuff. Photos and images, image galleries, things like that. We want to go to editors, so there should be a category here for editing. I'll click on this, and this will take me to a lot of the extensions for editors. And if I scroll down, this is the one I'm looking for. It's called the JCE, the Joomla Content Editor. And this is probably one of the most used, it is definitely one of the most used extensions for Joomla. You see there are 471 reviews for it, an average score of 94, which is pretty high. It is compatible with Joomla 3. Remember, that's the version I'm using. And so I know it's safe to use. It is a component, and it has some plugins that come with it. There are different types of extensions. There are modules. Let's see, some of them are just plugins. Some of them are modules. There are plugins, modules, components, and specific add-ons. A few different types, but this is a component. So let's click on this one, JCE. It takes us to the listing, and again, I can go through the reviews if I'd like to for the component. I can see some of the ratings for it, which is just really, really useful stuff. I want to click on the Get This button, and this is going to actually take me to the developer site, JoomlaContentEditor.net to their download page, and I want to get their editor, so I'll click here, Editor. I'm going to make sure I get the editor for my version of Joomla, Joomla 3. And then I'll see they have two packages here. They've got a beta 4, so they have a release coming out, but I don't want the beta version. I want their stable release. So I'll click on download, and it is a zip file. Download this. I'll put this in my downloads folder as well, just as I did with our template. And once that's downloaded, I'll return to the back end of my Joomla site. I'll click on the upload package file just as we did before. I'll choose the file from the computer. From my computer, I'll go to downloads again and click JCE, and then upload and install. And as soon as that editor that component has been installed. Again, we'll receive some check marks and green message letting us know that it installed successfully, which it did. So that's cool. And just as I had to ask Joomla to make that my CloudBase 3 the active template, the default template, I also have to ask Joomla to make the JCE editor my active editor. And I do that by going to System and Global Configuration. And once I'm here, remember we were here before we changed our site name, I'm going to scroll down and select Default Editor. And right now it's set to TinyMCE. I want to change this to the JCE Editor. I'll click that. Let's go ahead and select Save and Close. And now, after all of that, we can return to our Article Manager here and click on Welcome to the Art Gallery. Notice all the different buttons I have now in my editor. This is the JCE, and it's definitely worth the time to do this because I can do so much more with formatting. And remember, a lot of this stuff you're familiar with if you've used any type of word processor in the past, but some of these things you may not be familiar with. So I want to show some of those to you now. So I'm going to delete that text, and I'm actually going to go to the internet, and I'm going to search for lorem ipsum. It's just filler text. It fills up spaces. And so this is Latin, and they want you to copy this and put it into your site. It just fills up spaces. So I'm going to copy this text. And notice though how the text comes with some bold font, and there's a font assigned to this, and it's block text. If I return to my back end of my site, I don't want to simply just paste this into my article. A lot of users will paste content directly from like a Microsoft Word document or a Google Doc, but when we create text in Microsoft Word, we apply formatting within that program, but it's not web formatting, and that formatting can be potentially damaging to a site, and I've actually seen people break a Joomla site by not using web formatting. So what I want to do is I want to click on this little clipboard with a T, paste as plain text. Click on this. I'm going to paste my text in here and then click Insert. And what this does is it pastes as plain text. It removes any formatting. Notice the title isn't bold anymore and things like that. So then I can use my editor to format the text. And let's just go ahead and add in a heading 2. And so I put in a heading 2, and I'm going to click on this button here to look at the source code. This lets me see the HTML version of the article, and this is important because notice the H2 tag. I applied a heading 2 because search engines will index H1 and H2 tags, and that's just one little trick you can use so people start finding you on the internet. So that's web formatting. That's important to apply these things. Some of the other things you may not be familiar with, you're familiar with text alignment and indenting, outdenting, unordered and ordered list, and superscript, subscript, and you can add a table into the site. Let's go ahead and add a picture in. A lot of people ask, how do I add an image into the article? I put my cursor here where I want that to appear. I'll click on this little picture frame. And this takes me to another little abbreviated view of my media manager. Again, here's all the files I have in my site right now. Here's that art gallery logo I added a little while ago. What I want to do is click on this button here to upload a file from my computer. I'm going to browse my computer, go to my documents, go to my webinar images, my art gallery, and I'm going to select this gallery image here. Now, I'm going to upload this, but it's important to notice, I want you to note this, I've already modified the dimensions of this image, 200 by 150. That's a nice size for a small image in an article on a web page. Joomla is not an image editing software, so you want to make sure you resize those images before you get them into your Joomla site, because a large image can really slow down your page load times. Let's go ahead, notice how the properties, none of this information is complete up here in the preview. I've only uploaded that to the site. I still need to click on the file here, and once I do that, the properties in the preview, they're complete up top. So I'm ready to insert this into the site. But notice I can change dimensions a little bit here, but again, resize those images before you get them into Joomla. Also, I want this text to wrap around the image, so here I can select alignment. I'm going to select left alignment, so the text jumps up and around, but it's really close to the image, so I'll add in a margin of 5, and that's for pixels, and that'll stay consistent around all sides of the image. Let's go ahead and insert that image into the site. And you know, a lot of other options here for formatting. I'll probably talk about a few things later, like anchors or adding links in. Really important stuff people want to know about frequently. For now though, let's go ahead and save and close our article. So we've done 2 of our 3 steps. We've done categories and articles, and our final step is to create a menu item. Right now, looking at the home page, let's actually refresh the page, and I want you to notice how nothing changes because we haven't gone through the whole process. We haven't done our menu item. Our category doesn't appear here, our article doesn't appear here. None of it appears until we do our menu item. So let's close. I'm going to close this page, but the art gallery here, return to the back end. Let's go to the control panel, and finally we want to go to our menus. I can access my menu manager here, or go to menus and menu manager. So here's my main menu and my user menu. I want you to notice how there are 2 menus when you launch a site, main and user. I'm going to stick primarily with my main menu for now. We might talk about that user menu in just a minute. There's only 1 menu item here. That main menu again appears right here, and this is my 1 menu item, home. So again, we'll come back and talk about the user menu in just a little bit, but here's our main menu. In our home page, this is a single article menu item type. Let's go ahead and open up our home page. Your menu item type, again, a single article. I can click on select, and there are many different menu item types. With your articles, you can do blogs, you can create a list of your categories, you can do featured articles. Right now it's just a single article, but if I scroll down here, notice I can do a contact form, a search form. There's user manager, registration, and login forms, all sorts of different things. For now, I'm just going to do a single article menu item type. And right now it's pointing to getting started, but I want to select a different article for that. I want to select the Welcome to the Art Gallery article we just wrote. Let's do that. Select Save and Close. Return and refresh. And finally, our content appears. So here's our 1 article that we wrote with our image, and this is our new home page. And you know, we want to create more though. We want to create some more content within the site and create a different type of menu item type. So let's create articles for our art classes and show you how to do the art classes here. So we're going to return to Content and Article Manager. I'm going to create 3 more articles here very quickly. Click on the New button. I find that repeating this process in the webinar is helpful for our new users. Let's do Drawing Class. Save this into our Art Classes category, really important. I'm going to paste this plain text and insert. We're going to do another heading, 2. Let's insert another image. Browse my computer. And I want you to notice here's my drawing image, but I can also upload several images at once. So I'm going to upload 3 at once. And again, I've already resized these. I've got them down to size. So here's my drawing class. I'm going to do right alignment this time with a margin of 5. And insert. Let's go ahead and do Save and New. We'll do Sculpting Class. Save this into Art Classes. Paste as plain text. Heading 2. And we're just creating content for the site. We'll insert another image. We're creating that content so we can have some options here for displaying the content. And I'm going to do Sculpture. We'll do right alignment as well with a margin of 5 and insert. Let's go ahead and save a new 1 more this time. And this time we'll call it Drama Class. Art Classes, category, paste as plain text. Heading 2, insert that image, right alignment with the margin, and save and close. So now we've got our 3 classes. And let's go ahead, let's show you the featured article menu item type. And I want you to notice this little star here. Now, even though each of these is in the same category, I can feature articles in many categories. Okay, so what we're going to do, we want to create a featured article menu item type that displays many articles on one page. So that the star means it's featured. Alright, so now that I've got those 3 featured articles, let's go ahead and go back to my menu. We'll go to my main menu. Click on the new button to create a new menu item. What type of menu item? Well, let's title it. Let's call it Art Classes. Menu item type, select. We'll come to our articles, and again, this is going to be a featured article. Again, it pulls articles from one or multiple categories into a single or multi-column layout. So let's do featured articles here, and I will save. I'll keep it open though, just in case we want to work on it a little bit. Let's return here and refresh. Here's our classes. Let's click on it. We get our 3 classes, 3 articles we just wrote. I don't like a couple things with this menu, with this page though. These details, they're more for a blog. I've got the print and email icons. I don't really like those here, and so I want to remove them. And I also don't like the layout. So let me show you how to adjust these settings. In the back end, I'm going to save and close. They actually don't happen in the menu item. You can control those in the menu item itself, but that's only for the one menu item. If you want to change that globally, you'll go back to your article manager. So in your article manager, you'll come to the options button in the upper right hand corner, and the first tab here is articles, and this is controlling all of those details that appear within the articles. I want to show my title, I want my link title, and I want to show intro text, but I want to say no or hide to everything else, like the author I'll hide, the published dates, navigation. I'm going to leave read more to show, but I'm going to hide tags. Let's hide icons and hits, all of that. Let's go ahead and save now. Get our green message, return and refresh, and those details are now gone. To change my layout, it's also done in the same area. I'm going to come to blog and featured layouts. Right now I have these settings and 1 leading article. I'm actually going to go with 0 leading articles, 3 intro articles, and 3 columns with 0 links. And you do have to kind of play around with this to get a feel for what you want to do exactly. But let's save that. We'll return and refresh, and we should see our articles appear nicely in 3 columns. And yeah, that's kind of what I like. Looks pretty good to me. Let's talk about adding a different menu item type now. Let's talk about a registration form. We've got our 3 art classes. We want to put a registration form in underneath art classes. So we'll go to the back end. We're going to save and close this article manager options. And let's go back to menus and go to our main menu. We're going to add a new menu item this time. And let's call this one Register Today. What menu item type do we want? I'm not going to use articles this time. I'm going to come down to the user manager. In the user manager, we've got the login form and the registration form, user profile, but this is the one we want, our registration form. So we can allow users to register for our site. So here's our registration form, and this is going on my main menu, and it's a root item on my main menu. Let me show you what I mean by that. We'll save and close. Here's our 3 menu items. Notice how they're all left aligned. Returning to the front end, let's refresh the page. Here's Register Today. This is the core Joomla registration form. People can register, but I want this to be a drop down below art classes. So what I'll do is I'll return here. I'm going to open up Register Today, And I want to change this from parent, from the root menu item. I'm going to put this under art classes. And what I'm doing is I'm making art classes the parent, and I'm making register today the child. Let's go ahead and save and close, and notice now how register today is indented under art classes, letting me know it's a drop down. Let's return here. Let's refresh. I should actually get a 500 error, but that's okay. I want to just go back to my home page. And notice how register today is now a drop down underneath art classes, and it takes us to our registration form as well. Let's register a user in just a minute, but for now let's create a blog, a really popular menu item type. We're going to go back to our content in our article manager. I'm going to create a new article, and let's call this Free Art Gallery Tours for Senior Citizens, for kids and senior citizens. Put this in the blog category, and I'm going to paste in my plain text again. Insert, do a heading, and we'll skip the image for now. Make sure this goes into the blog category and save and close. Let's do one more, and title this one Meet March's Featured Artist. In the blog category, paste as plain text with a heading, and save and close. So now we've got two articles in our blog category. Okay, we've got the featured artist and the free tours. Let's go ahead and go back to menus, main menu. We're going to add another new menu item. Let's title this one blog, and select the menu item type. This time it's back under articles, and it's the category blog. This is very similar to the featured articles menu item type we just did, but this one pulls from only one category. That's the difference between the two. So the blog pulls from one category. Which category do I want to pull from? My art gallery blog. And let's go ahead and save. Return to the front end and refresh. Here's my blog. And notice how the layout is similar to my art classes page, but I don't really want that. I want just one column of articles. So what I'll do is I'll come here. This is where I override those core layout features that I set before. I can override those through the menu items. So I want to have those 5 leading articles, but I only want one column, let's say. So let's go ahead and save that. Return and refresh. So now they're in one column, and I also want some of those details back, right? Going back to my details, category, yeah. So I want to show the title, but these are all those core settings. Let's see. Blog layout, that's not the one I want. Where's the page display? No, where's my details? Category. Where are my options? Blog layout. I want options. Here they are, under options. So, show title. I want to do, let's show the author. Let's show the published date. Let's show voting. We'll show our icons. We'll show the print and email and our hits. Good things to have in a blog. Let's save that, return and refresh, and we get those details back. Okay, so that's the difference between those two different menu item types. But you know what? We've done a lot so far. We haven't even talked about modules at all. And modules, again, are really, really important things that you can add to the site. Again, all we've done so far is we've played around with our content. But I'm going to show you a module now. And I want to return to my CloudBase 3 template, because I want to look at those module positions. And so what I'll do is I need to pick a position. And I'm going to go with this full width position. I'm going to create a nice big broad module that covers my entire width of my site. It's kind of done for marketing. Okay, so let's return to the back end and save and close our menu item, and we'll go to System and Control Panel. If we want to get to our modules, we'll come to Module Manager here, or come to Extensions and Module Manager. Now I want you to notice how there are like 8 modules published in the site already. Those were like the images and the side modules that came with our sample data. I'm going to select all of these and throw them in the trash because I just don't need them anymore. I get the yellow message again letting us know we don't have any modules published. Let's return and refresh. Nothing changes on the front end though because we're working with a new template, and those modules were all for our old template. So let's create a new module in the back end. I don't want to raise any red flags either because this all those modules, they're core modules, and I can add them here by coming to add a new module. And what I want to do, whenever I want to do, there are many of course to pick from, but I want to have my custom HTML module here. This is the only module that allows me to customize text and imagery within the module. So I'll click on Custom HTML, and it looks much like our articles looked when we created those. I'm going to call this my showcase banner, and I'll use my editor to upload an image. And I'll upload again. I've got a nice wide image here I'd like to use. And upload. And select. And insert. I've got my nice image there. And very important over here, I select my position. I'm not using the Bees 3 template, so I'll scroll down, find the CloudBase. And again, I want to use that full width position. So I'll go find that position right here. Let's go ahead and save. Return to the front end and refresh, and I get a nice big broad module on my site showing off one of my galleries. Okay, so the site looks pretty good. Notice though, if I go to art classes, this module appears on the art classes page, and it also appears on my blog page. I only want that on my home page. So returning to the module, I'll go to Menu Assignment. Right now it's set to all pages. I'll select only the pages selected, and here are the 2 menus I have. Here's my main menu and my user menu. We haven't talked about that user menu much yet, and we'll get to it a little bit later, but here's my main menu. I want to clear all and then select just the home page and save. So now if I return to that blog page and refresh, the banner disappears from here, but it's still on my home page. And we're actually going to replace this because a lot of our users, they say, well, I want some moving imagery. I want the images to kind of slide in and out on the site. And so what we're going to install in the site is an image rotator. And this is a really cool feature that is comes on the site through the form of an extension. So we're actually going to go back to the extensions directory at extensions.joomla.org. Again, extensions.joomla.org is the place where you'll go to find those extensions, and we could probably come down to photos and imagery here, but I'm just going to search for the one I like. It's called Slideshow CK. A lot of these extensions come with, so here's the Slideshow CK. Notice how this is just a module. It's not a component, just a module. And this one it's free. There's some paid version. There's a paid version of it, but we want to get the free version. So here's the listing. I'm going to click on Get This. It is compatible with Joomla 3. It works really, really well. This takes us to the download page. Of course, I want to make sure I get the right version, Slideshow CK for Joomla 3, and I'll download it. It's going to be a zip file, zip right here, and I'll save it to my downloads folder. So once I download that, I can return to the back end of the Joomla site. We're going to save and close this module. We're actually going to come back and disable this one. But I want to come back to my extension manager. so I can install the slideshow CK. And again, we're not working here, so we'll click on Upload Package File, choose that file from our computer, go to My Downloads, select slideshow CK, and upload and install. We've done this 3 times now, one for the editor, one for our template, and now for the slideshow CK. Now, because that's a module, remember, we can come to Extensions and Module Manager, and it will appear here, slideshow CK. Just as we installed the template, it appeared in our Template Manager, and here's where our components will appear. Here's the JCE. So we've installed that. By default, it's not published. It's assigned to no pages. It has no positions. So let's go ahead and open it up. Slideshow CK. And first, I want to select that position. Scrolling down, go to CloudBase 3. I want that full width position right here. I want to publish this. And go to Menu Assignment. Right now it's on no pages. Let's select only the pages selected again. Clear all and select our home page. Let's go ahead and save it at this point. Return to the front end. Refresh the page. And there is my slide set, my image rotator. These are the images that come with it. And you see your thumbnail here, it will automatically scroll through these, but it's too big. And it doesn't have my imagery in it. So let's kind of set this up a little bit. Returning to the back end, I can go ahead and go to the Slides Manager setting, and I'm going to select a new image. Let's actually delete these old. Yep, we're going to remove these slides. Okay, so I've removed all those slides. Let's go ahead and add a slide, and I'll select an image. I'm going to select that big broad banner I already uploaded and insert. I can also create a title for this. Welcome to the Art Gallery. And then I'm going to add a new slide. Select an image. This time I'm going to browse my computer for a new image. Go to my documents and my webinar images again. My Art Gallery. Here's my wide banner. And start the upload. Select that banner and insert. Let's call this one Daily Dramatic Performances. Let's go ahead and add one more. Again, select an image. Browse my computer. And start the upload. Here's my third one. Select and insert. Let's do a title of this one. Register for an art class today. And let's save. Now we've added 3 images in. Let's go ahead and refresh. By default, they're really, really big, right? And so I need to resize. So next I'll come down to Styles Options. And right now my width is auto, which is good, but my height is 62%. Let's just change that to 200, and that's for pixels. Let's go ahead and save. See what that looks like on the front end. And refresh. And then we get a nice slender slide set. We could, I think the original one I had was 350. I kind of like the slender one. Let's leave that for now. But you can see what the captions look like, or the titles for the images, and they kind of scroll through. Let's go ahead and disable this original module. So I'll save and close this one for now. And let's unpublish the showcase module we created originally. Return and refresh. And then we get our nice slide set. It actually should be a little bit bigger, I think. So let's open up Slideshow CK again and go to Styles Options. 200. Let's go back with 300, I think. Save. Let's save and close, actually. Return and refresh, see how that looks. looks a little bit better. I kind of like the 300. That's pretty good. So we've added in some moving parts and pieces, and there's more customization there within the module. You can change the transition type there, but again, we're looking pretty good. I like the way it looks so far. Let's create a few different types of modules, though. Returning to our module positions, let's make some adjustments in our user menu, and then we'll add a menu module in our sidebar. Okay, so first though, let's go back to our menus and our user menu. Again, in our menu manager, there are two menus in our site. We've been working with our main menu so far, but let's go to our user menu. Our user menu is a cool place for us to add features to the site that allows users to log in and register. So notice how there's an access level for these menu items. Some of them are set to registered or special or super user. And if I go back to, let's go to our main menu here. Notice how the access on our main menu, they're all set to public. Okay, that means anyone can see them. But my user menu, only certain users who are in these access levels can see them. Let's create a new menu item on this. And we're going to call this one Create an Account. And the menu item type, let's select. Go down to our user manager. This is going to be the registration form, the same thing that we added as a drop-down before. So there's our registration form. Let's do Save and New. And notice how this is going to be public. Access public. We're going to do Save and New. Let's call this one Access Your Account. Select the menu item type. Again, going down to the user manager, we'll do Login Form. And let's go ahead, and this is public as well, so save and close. So now we've got two public menu items here. Several are set to super users only, and then some are for the registered or special users only. I actually don't really see the need for template settings or site settings or site administrator, although I could log in this way. I kind of encourage you to delete these to get them out of there if you don't need them, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete all of these, and if you guys have questions about what these things look like or what they're for, just let me know. Let's go ahead and select, and I'm going to throw them in the trash. So now we only have the three menu items: create an account, access your account, and then your profile. So with those menu items in place, we can now create a module. So we'll go back to our module manager, and this module will help us feature will help us feature our menu. So we'll click on the New button, and we'll go to Menu. We'll do our main, or let's call this our user menu. And remember, I'm going to put this in the sidebar A position here. Select the position, scrolling down. I want to find sidebar A. Here it is. And which menu do I want to feature? Not my main menu, but my user menu. Let's go ahead and select Save. Returning to the front end, we'll refresh the page. And notice my user menu now off to the side of my page. We can click on Create an Account. That'll take us to our registration form as well, and then our Access Your Account. This takes us to, Create an Account is registration. We haven't created, did I do registration form for both? They should both be the login forms. So, create an account, access. This one should be registration. Let me just get back to our user menu, see if I did that right. user or menus, user menu, registration login form. Access should be login form. Yeah, I need to register. I'm not logged in yet. That's strange. Well, you know, we kind of showed you some options for your site, and we've done a lot in the last hour and 15 minutes, and I hope this gives you a good idea of what's possible with Joomla. There's so much more that we didn't discuss, but I want you to feel free to post questions now. I am going to actually stop our recording in just a moment, just let you know it's going to be available here on our YouTube channel. But let me know what you want to do. You know, if you want to add a contact form to the site, if you want to see what users look like and how to add users to different user groups and things like that and give them permission, post those questions now and let me know what you want to learn how to do. If you've got questions, suggestions for extensions that you need for the site, let me know. We can do quite a lot today. So post those questions. I am going to stop the recording at this point, but I do want to let you know too that you can always come back and come to training, come to our live webinars, and you can register for a webinar. And we've got more Learn the Basics of Joomla 3s coming up. So learn the basics of WordPress. Feel free to come on back to any of these webinars at any time. You can also find us on Facebook. Come to our Facebook page. We'd really appreciate it if you liked us on Facebook or shared this with somebody. And we've got a lot of great news and things happening on our Facebook or our Twitter accounts as well. So again, I'm going to stop the presentation. If you don't have any questions, that's okay, but start posting those now. And thanks for attending, everybody. Good luck developing your Joomla site, and we hope to see you in a webinar really soon.